Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. I am a stickler for detail. I believe that if you're going to do it to the best of your ability. And there are times that sometimes you just got to do it to get it done and get it out there. But then when you go back and refine it, well, then you take more time, you pay attention to some of the finer points that may have slipped your attention when you initially released something or did one thing or another that could be corrected. The beautiful thing about the internet is that you can change anything at a moment's notice, and everything could possibly change based on the things that you do. So there was an article that we had written this weekend on lockergnome.com that was talking specifically about user experience. It's also known as UX for short. This is not to be confused with UI. User interface, the way something looks, is not user experience, or like a workflow, or the way something works. Two completely separate things. Now, the delta between the two, that's the sweet spot. A beautiful UI and a beautiful UX. If you have a website, and your goal of that website is to sell widgets, and you put the website up and no one's buying the widgets, is it because people aren't coming to the website? Well, no, maybe you have a lot of traffic, but they're not buying. Well, why are they not buying? Could it be that you have a poor UI? Well, it could be. Maybe the website looks like it was designed in front page back in 1999. It may very well have been, in which case I would tell you, update the website's design. Or it could be that when a visitor visits your webpage, as opposed to a visitor doing something else, they may not understand what it is you want them to do. There may be a very, very poor user experience. And it's very rare that I feature or even pay attention to something that has a poor user experience, in my estimation. If I know what I'm trying to do and the website doesn't make it easy to do, I get frustrated. So for years, mobile devices, I believe, were plagued by not just horrible UI, but horrible UX. If it takes you 14 clicks to do something, that's bad UX. It should, if you know it should only take you like one click and be done with it, that's a good UX. It's a good user experience. And this is something you should be thinking about if you have a product, a service, any kind of presence on the web, if you design software, even if you don't do any of that, if you use software or if you use hardware and you find yourself frustrated because it's not doing exactly the way, it's not doing things the way you expect them to do things, whatever it is, piece of hardware, piece of software, and you know that it should be easier and you get frustrated. I'm getting so frustrated I can't even finish the sentence. That is the hallmark of a bad UX, a bad user experience. If you go back to somebody and says you're using it wrong, they may not be using it wrong. The person who put it together, who designed it, who assembled it, may have done it not as well as they could have done it. Bad UX. Never blame the user for a bad user experience. That's not the fault of the person who you're trying to get to do something. If they can't do what it is they want to do, you've probably hit this before. You've downloaded an application that says, this application will do this, and you keep trying to do it and it doesn't work. Or you have to jump through like 13 different steps that make no sense. Why can't I just press a button and have it work? That's bad UX. Those are things not worth talking about. This is why very rarely do I bring up an application that I believe has a poor UX or UI. Very rarely do I talk about gadgets and gizmos because so many of them have such a poor user experience that overrides any benefits that those products may be trying to deliver us, the user. So keep that in mind. If you want a further definition of user experience, our take on it, because believe me, we go into the details. This is just kind of a high-level overview, just pointing you to this greater in-depth article. It's something that even users should consider, because if you look at a product and it's got promise, you could tell the person who put it together, the team that put it together, what they can do better, because that will make it a better product for you and potentially everybody else. Always, always, always put user experience at the forefront, because that's what you want to do, right? Use. I have no problem saying I'm a user. I use it. Hopefully I don't abuse it. But we have more information on lockergnome.com.